Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. Ah! It's a painful sound, that.
It was. Yeah. Just you talking, Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Dave.
Oh, it's even worse. Jesus. I'm Office Bloke Mike. I'm Office Bloke Dan.
That's not painful whatsoever. That's quite a satisfying noise, really.
You like that, do you?
Yeah, I like a bee. Yeah. We are the Office Blokes. We've got a Patreon page, believe it or not.
Indeed. Go and have a look at patreon.com and put in Office Blokes React. If you fancy supporting the channel for just £1.50, go down there and have a look.
Yeah, and if you are going to subscribe to the higher tiers where you get requests, make sure they're good. Come on, bring your A game.
Come on.
I've had some flops recently.
Yeah.
Not good. Anyway, we've got 2 other channels as well that are definitely worth a go.
Office Blokes Try, where we try different things from around the world. And Office Blokes Podcast, where we do 2 podcasts a week. One on a Friday, 6 p.m. British Standard Time, talking topical content. And one on a Tuesday, where just Mike and myself talk English Premier League football.
Yeah. Good stuff. Right, most painful sounds you'll ever hear. Why have you queued this up, Des? I
just thought they had to fucking annoy loads of people.
Yeah. For me, it was when I was on the toilet after the 1-chip challenge. Ooh.
Was that a painful sound or was that a painful situation?
Physically painful.
Feeling.
Yeah. Both, because it was making a sound as well.
There's one sound.
Whistling.
There's one sound that grinds on my brain, and when I hear it, my head just goes, no matter where I am, I can hear it in the distance anywhere. And as soon as I hear it, I get really, my brain just it vibrates in my head.
Ice cream van.
Nope.
Repressed memories. No,
they're fine. A blender.
A blender?
Really?
Wow.
Yep. How strange.
I'm not a fan of a blender, don't get me wrong, but it's not the
noise
thing
goes
in the world.
right through me. I've even been in a bar where a guy I've had to walk over and plug it.
Really?
Oh, mate, just stop it. He's fucking blended.
He was getting a nice cocktail going on.
He was doing loads, and he's like pulsing it. I'm like, mate, give it a rouse in the other room.
Fair play. I'm wondering what this is going to be, because there's the tone that, you know, when TV used to finish.
No,
I think that's 1 kilohertz, and the reason they do that is because apparently 1 kilohertz is around what a baby screams at, and there's a thing built into us to respond to a baby screaming or crying in danger. Yeah. So that's why that 1 kilohertz tone gets right down your ear hole. I may be confusing 2 things there, maybe 3 kilohertz or something, but I don't know. Anyway, talking a bit too much here. Let's get into it.
Warning, this episode includes audio recordings of sounds you may find extremely uncomfortable. Continue watching at your own risk. Sound can hurt.
We got a Patreon channel.
Yeah, that wasn't a blender, by the way. It was a dildo, so you're all right with that one.
Emotionally, but also physically. The sound of a specific commercial jingle can create a memory which is painful to contemplate, while the sound of an acoustic weapon will bring you excruciating physical pain. Some of these effects have to do with the mind-body connection, but the sounds we're looking at today are all about physical hurt. So get ready for some of the most painful sounds you'll ever hear. Nails on chalkboard. Probably one of the most widely recognized and awful sounds in the world is that of nails on a chalkboard.
For some reason, that makes my teeth hurt.
Yeah.
More so
You've got to visualise it in your head as well, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely.
It hurts my teeth, weirdly, and I don't know why.
That should never be heard, because why would anyone do it anyway? It's like an unnatural thing, isn't it? Why would you scrape your fingers down the chalkboard?
Why not? Maybe
when you get punished at school.
File your nails, some sort of filing sort of implement would do that.
Maybe you've not got a nail file.
When the teacher's got you against the blackboard and he's whipping you.
Scratch away the pain.
I think you have to ask someone else on this panel about that.
This is almost universally one of the most uncomfortable sounds in the world, though research has shown that if you're not already inclined to find the sound painful or uncomfortable, then it likely won't be. This shows that pain can sometimes be subjective when there's no physical effect directly on our bodies. However, for most people, nails on a chalkboard is a terribly uncomfortable sound. Researchers aren't exactly sure why this sound is so painful to people, though suspect it has to do with its very high frequency. Our ears are naturally created to amplify frequencies around the 2,000 to 4,000 hertz range, the same range a baby's shrill cry falls in. This is likely...
I was confusing 2 things.
You only 1,999 kilohertz out.
No, well, if you notice, I backtracked from 1 kilohertz because that tone is 1 kilohertz on TV, but the baby's scream is 3 kilohertz, and I backtracked and said 3, so I'm right. technically.
An evolutionary adaptation, as children shrieking typically do so for very good reasons. As we're programmed to reproduce and procreate our numbers, ensuring the safety and survival of our offspring is hardwired into even our physiology. Unluckily for modern students, nails on a chalkboard falls right into this extra sensitive range of hearing. Though this discomfort is typically accompanied by concern for physical harm to one's nails as well. One can't help but think of their own nails scratching on a blackboard and being torn loose, and the accompanying pain. Thus, this specific sound might be triggering not just physical discomfort, but a prediction of pain, adding to the unbearable nature of it. Our next sound is basically nails on a chalkboard, cranked up to 11. Fork on a plate. If you thought nails on a blackboard was rough, then this next one is really gonna set your teeth on edge. Who hasn't accidentally scratched their porcelain plate with a fork?
You know what? When you're the one that's doing it, it's nowhere near as bad as when the person
someone else
next to you
does
does
it.
it.
Yeah.
In a restaurant, someone's doing it on the next table as well, and you're like,
Oh yeah, you wouldn't be able to concentrate on your food, would you?
One of my kids, when they're sat at the dinner table, just likes to, when he gets bored, just bangs his fork on the table. And it's like, if I'm in the kitchen, I have to run in. I'm like, what are you doing?
lug warmer.
That's so annoying.
Only to instantly wince at the horrible sound of a fork scratching the plate. Well, the reason for this extreme discomfort is once again tied to the frequency range of the sound. Just like with nails on a blackboard, this frequency falls into a range the ear canal naturally amplifies, making it even worse to listen to. The next entry is a lurking danger, waiting for you the moment you open your long-awaited Amazon order. Styrofoam rubbing together. We call this next sound the third member of the sound annoyance axis of evil.
Called polystyrene in this country, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you on
But
that.
it's not good.
It's horrible stuff
It's like a
as well.
squeaky noise, isn't it? It's,
Yeah.
mate, you know, Matt, even if you don't even touch it, fucking mess everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Isn't it?
it is. It's absolutely hideous thing to really get rid of.
It seems so unnecessary as well because you get tons of it in a box and it just goes in the bin.
Yeah.
To-
Oh,
to
the
a
packaging these
landfill or
days is
whatever.
absolutely amazing, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
absolutely tons of the stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, you seen that golf club we bought the other day?
Oh yeah. Ridiculous, isn't it?
And it is truly unbearable to listen to for long.
Sounds like a train.
Sure.
The reasons why are unsurprisingly once more related to the frequencies of the sound, and if you can withstand a 10-hour challenge of this sound, then you clearly either have hearing damage or are a sadist. This next sound is typically caused by very annoying kids with a sadist streak. Metal ruler on a glass bottle. Yet another sound sure to
I've
set
heard
your
this.
teeth on
New
edge.
one on me.
The sound of a metal ruler running along a bottle can be painful to some.
That's quite
Sharpening.
satisfying. That's a
Sharpening
satisfying
a-
noise. It's got,
Sharpening a knife.
Yeah.
it's got a little zoom.
Unlike fingernails
Quite
on a
like that,
chalkboard, or the sound of styrofoam being rubbed together though, a metal ruler running along a glass bottle isn't quite as universally annoying or painful.
I quite like that.
This is likely
It's all right.
because it doesn't quite emit the same high frequencies as the...
For the first time in my life, I figured out how to make wine glasses sing. I was doing it the other day.
Oh, right.
I've tried
Well
millions
done.
of times.
Yeah.
and It's like that. It's great.
You wet your finger.
It was not just wet though, because I always used to like lick my finger and try and do it. It doesn't work. But I was washing the pots and my hands were soaking, and I did it, and suddenly it worked.
Just
It was
inside the dishwasher.
great. I don't have a dishwasher. Do you think I am?
You are the dishwasher, aren't you, Dave?
I am. Until the kids are old enough.
obvious sounds. Our next dinner time sound, though, can set your teeth on edge just hearing us describe it. Fork on glass. Back to dining implements. This time, though, it's a fork on glass. Emitting the same high frequencies as a fork on a dinner plate, this sound
man.
is all but unbearable
watching
to
it
most
like that.
people. Though luckily, you're a lot less likely to encounter it during dinner than you are in accidentally scraping your plate. Unless
It's giving me bad anxiety, this,
Hey,
you know.
oh, that's hideous, that one.
My foot's sapping like 100 mile an hour.
I'm all right with this one.
for some reason you're eating your drink with a fork, in which case you have an entirely different set of problems to worry about. Now it's time for some sounds so loud they can feel like a punch in the stomach. Train horn. Alright, it's time to take things up a notch, or a lot of notches really. Train horns are notoriously loud, clocking in at a legally set limit of 110 decibels. That's actually 10 decibels lower than the average rock and roll concert. But it's the specific high frequencies that are part of the train horn which make this a very painful sound. Another factor adding to the psychological discomfort of a train horn is its discordant nature. When you listen carefully, you can identify that there's not just one tone, but multiple jangled together to create a very uncomfortable mix of painful sounds. And that's on purpose, as train horns are meant to warn people to get out of the way of the proverbial immovable object bearing down on them. The discordant sounds help get people's attention and elicit a small amount of healthy fear. Our next sound can get the adrenaline pumping, but if you're standing too close to the source, you won't be hearing anything for long. Stock car sounds. There's an undeniable draw to the sound of a beefy muscle car revving up that sends shivers of joy down the spine of any race aficionado. But if you're one of the people that has to work next to a superpowered stock car every day without the benefit of hearing protection, you're going to be blasted by yet another of the most painful sounds in the world. From the comfort of your home.
I like that sound.
Got to disagree with that one.
I didn't mind that one, but I tell you what, I've been to the racing over here at Silverstone for a Formula 1, and I think that was before, because didn't they modify the engine so they weren't quite as powerful and weren't as noisy. But I went there when they were noisy, and gee, I mean, it really, you could actually feel literally inside you. You've probably been to one in Abu Dhabi and stuff. Yeah. You can actually feel literally your eardrums shaking inside. It's so painful.
I thought it was one of them where I didn't need ear protectors. I thought I'll be fine.
Same here.
And then after the first lap, I was like, nah, I have to go and buy some. It was that loud.
Me and Jane went down on the practice day on the Friday. We just sat there right near the corner of the thing. You could go anywhere on the track, and straight away it's like, geez, you're having a laugh. I had no idea it was that loud.
It's a lot more high-pitched Formula 1, isn't it? That was low and gargly.
Grunty, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's a guy who's moved in near us, and I don't know where he lives. I can't find which house he lives in yet, but I keep hearing he's got like a souped-up R8 or something. Fuck me, it's loud.
Is it? Yeah.
He's just, and every night at like 10 o'clock he's going somewhere, and he's got that backdraft and away. The what do you call it?
Back into the.
It's probably a Corsa with a 9-inch exost.
No, it's not. I've seen it. It's like, I think it's an R8.
Yeah,
but it's fucking loud, man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Catch him and say,
turn that bloody car down.
The old guy, yeah. You're making too much noise around this now, with Karen.
There's no way you'd say it like that.
It rhymes with Darren.
Yeah.
Darren.
Yeah.
With your electronic speakers, you aren't getting the full experience of this mighty sound. That would require you to be part of a pit crew so you can experience the massive 130 plus decibel level of a stock car firsthand. Well past the point of hearing damage, prolonged exposure to this volume will be very detrimental to your health. Although the sound of stock cars flying by is a pretty neat sound, and to us it sounds like laser beams being fired.
Yeah, quite like
A
that.
soldier's
That's
life
alright.
can be rough, but on the battlefield, just firing his or her weapon can cause permanent hearing loss. Gunfire. Movies do a really bad job of portraying just how loud guns really are, clocking in at 140 decibels.
I love the sound of gunfire. I've grown up with guns, so it's just a satisfying noise to me.
Is it?
Yeah. Plus, you wear ear protection when you're shooting anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like, you're just exposed.
Do you like having weapons shot off near your face?
Not near my face, no.
Near your ears?
No. On my leg, on my
What are
belly.
you laughing at?
A gun battle is one of the loudest, most chaotic experiences any human can ever experience. Once more, your speakers simply aren't.
That's what I hear from my side.
Yeah.
From my house every night.
When you go for
I
a
think it's
stroll.
fireworks. I'm like, it's fireworks outside. Again, it's like, not fireworks.
No. Oh dear.
See, even that, though, as people who don't shoot, is that not a satisfying sound?
That's
Yeah, it
all
is.
right.
Yeah, it sounds
I
fine,
think it's
that.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Conveying the raw power of 140 decibel gunshots, which are so deafening that hearing protection is mandatory on military shooting ranges for the long-term health of shooters. Consider that modern assault rifles are semi-automatic and typically accompanied by fully automatic squad weapons, and you have a recipe for permanent hearing damage, something Hollywood does a really bad job of showing. Yet another Hollywood myth, pretending that anything less than a screamed conversation is possible in the midst of a modern gun battle. Now we switch things up from high frequency or loud sounds to the opposite end of the scale for some startling results.
Got to be careful with this. There's a thing called the brown note where it's supposed to be around 8 hertz and it'll make you shit yourself.
Really?
It's supposed
Is that
to
why
be.
it's called the brown note?
Yeah, it is. I think it's the same resonant frequency as the body vibrates at.
Yeah.
And the idea is if you can match that and blast it at a human body loud enough, It can discombobulate your insides, make you shit yourself.
Does it sound something like, who's got that dude?
Over and over again.
I don't know if it's ever been proven that it's a thing, or if it's just a theory, or what, or if we don't have speakers powerful enough to blast it at someone.
Yeah.
But everything vibrates at a frequency, and the idea is if you match that frequency and blast it at the thing,
It will shit itself.
You can break up its molecular structure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You better be careful being old Mike here with these noises. Maybe it's like that. Bit loose.
I'll take my chances.
Infrasound. A lot of the sounds we covered today are very high frequencies or just stupidly loud. Infrasound, however, is very low frequency sound, and its effects on humans is startling. For most people who likely barely heard anything at all, and that's what you would expect from a sound with such low frequency. However, the other problem is that most consumer speakers simply aren't capable of playing infrasound. However, if you're one of the lucky few who have music studio quality speakers, then you probably felt a sense of dread and discomfort after listening to the sound for a while. Though inconclusive, some research has found that exposures to 6 to 15 Hz can severely impact sleep quality, and should be of concern for people with faulty heating or air conditioning equipment, as misaligned fans can produce this frequency range. Infrasound between 5 and 10 Hz might cause feelings of fatigue, apathy, depression.
We've got some misaligned fans on this page.
That's true. You keep messaging me.
Loss of concentration, drowsiness, and even vibration of the internal organs. It might even directly affect the nervous, cardiovascular, and respiratory systems. In our increasingly mechanized world, concerns over infrasound's health effects are becoming greater and greater. Though the research is relatively new, it's believed that many common woes of mental and even some physical health may be directly related to long-term infrasound exposure from vehicles or machinery. Coincidentally, most large predatory animals have roars that dip well into the infrasound range, and it's not uncommon for people to be exposed to lion, cougar, and other big cat roars to report immediate feelings of fear and even physical discomfort.
Yeah, no shit.
Our next sound might have been used.
There's a big lion next to you.
That wants to eat you.
Oh, I feel a bit uncomfortable.
Them lion roars, they are like, they do vibrate. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
they? They're
yeah,
proper
yeah.
loud.
I can imagine. But I think you'd be worried before it even roared, wouldn't you? If you
Oh,
saw
big
a lion
time,
there,
yeah.
I think...
I've been in a thing called an anechoic chamber, which is basically, it's a completely dead room. So the only way to describe it is as if you're, say, a mile up in the sky with no wind. Sound doesn't vibrate off anything whatsoever. So you'd be able to hear me like this, but as soon as I turn off axis like that, you can't hear a word that I'm saying because it's not bouncing off anything to get to you.
Where was that? That Tranquil Spa thing you went to?
No, it was at Salford University when I was there. They've got
right.
there's not many. They're very expensive to build, but they do a lot of stuff with it there. And literally, I could scream at you full volume, and as soon as I'm like that, you can't hear a thing, but you can see me screaming. But you can hear the blood pumping around your body in it. If you're in there on your own and you just stand still, you hear your heartbeat. You can hear like that with blood going around your veins.
Really?
It is insane.
Maybe we should do a try one out of there.
If we could get in there, it'd be great.
Where is that?
It's at Salford Uni.
Let's see if we know anyone there.
Sounds a bit
Yeah,
weird, that.
but it makes people feel really ill. Like certain people go in there and they last 30 seconds and come running out because they just feel really odd. I was in there for maybe 5 or 10 minutes and it messes with you. It really does.
I have that same effect with my wife. Yells at me or talks to me. I can see her.
But you can't hear
I can't hear anything.
Interesting one. It'd be great to get us in there on the channel because it's such a weird thing to experience. It really is.
Sounds
Where is it?
I
I know it's Salford, but where is Salford University? Which campus is it in?
It's next to what's the two Salford train stations? There's Salford Central and Salford
North,
I can't remember.
South,
no,
East,
no,
West.
City.
no. I can't remember. It's on Regent Road, basically.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
It is Regent
Okay.
Road, isn't it?
Regent Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To attack American diplomats in Cuba. Acoustic weapons. Man has weaponized everything from hunting tools to birds, so it was inevitable that sound too would become a thing to kill each other with. Today, acoustic weapons are mostly used defensively, such as the use of acoustic weapons during various protests in the US in 2019. However, in 2016, acoustic weapons may have been used against US personnel for the first time. Workers at the recently reopened embassy in Cuba began reporting strange symptoms A high-frequency noise they could barely hear seemed to be present in their homes and in the embassy itself. One worker said that the noise could only be blocked out by closing all doors and windows and turning the TV on high. Eventually, physical and mental symptoms began to develop amongst the embassy staff, ranging from headaches to depression and extreme fatigue. Believing the embassy was under attack, most of the staff was pulled out as the Department of Defense and the FBI began to investigate. The sound was recorded several times, with one of those recordings leaked to the press. Initially, it was believed that an acoustic weapon was to blame, but as the investigation wore on, it was thought that a specific type of cricket, plentiful in Cuba, may actually be the culprit.
Wow.
This cricket can emit frequencies that are outside the normal range of human hearing and may have adverse health effects after long-term exposure. However, acoustic weapons are definitely a thing and already deployed by police forces and anti-piracy patrols on the high seas. These weapons elicit a great deal of pain and discomfort and can even lead to permanent hearing loss. Now go watch Most Painful Things a Human Can Experience #3, or click this other video instead.
That was really good. I really
Good, isn't it?
enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
interesting stuff, that.
It's funny,
Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah.
there, do you know, like these sounds that are like, one of them there was when they played it, that real deep bass sound.
Yeah.
My head was like vibrating. I don't know if you had the same
Yeah,
effect.
yeah,
But you know, when these protesters come out and they can't get rid of them, they're just like spraying water at them or whatever, just fucking pump that out.
they do.
They'll
Yeah.
soon get rid of them.
Yeah,
They
should
do.
do.
I used to watch, I said before, a program called Future Weapons years ago on Discovery Channel, and there's one that's like just a round, like a satellite dish, and they can direct it. It's like one sound wave that just goes perfectly straight like that.
Yeah.
They can get people like a mile away with it, and no one else can hear it until you're right there and it's pointing at you, and it's that painful. Everyone just drops their weapons. People just run. They
Yeah.
hit the floor. It's out there.
Good way of sorting it out, isn't it? I mean, they actually use stuff like that against teenagers, don't they? I'm sure they do it in this country. No, they do.
Really?
Because they've got better hearing up to the age of 18. Their hearing's a lot more sensitive, and they can play like high-pitched noises or something to get them away from shops and stuff like that.
We bought an app when the kids were growing up, and it was sounds that you hear that we don't hear.
Yeah.
And it said that at certain age groups you can hear it, and we played it with the kids, and the kids were like, "Can you hear that?" And we were like, "No." And they can put your hand up when you can hear it. One of
Yeah.
them. And the kids were like straight away, and we were like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
"Can't hear anything."
Yeah, and after 18,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you're hearing that it's not
Yeah.
quite so sensitive. And I think they've used it outside shop. You know, when there's gangs of youths about, they just play that and they just naff off because they can't take it. Yeah, that's true. That
I got
It's
my
quality,
hearing.
isn't it? The advanced technology. Brilliant. And I'm going to get some outside my house.
I got my hearing tested when I was at uni, and they said to me, "Have you ever played in bands?" And I went, "Yeah." And they said, "Which side of the drummer do you stand on?" And can we guess?
Behind.
And I said, "Yeah."
it's a stand.
Yeah, and they knew that one ear was, there's a drummer there, and the other ear there isn't. Just straight away, just by testing my hearing, because they said that ear, the top frequencies just aren't there compared to the other one. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, very
But
weird.
there's also a theory that I heard years ago that
You were in a band.
yeah, yeah, it's
you
all,
play
it's, all,
guitar.
it's all lies. It's all lies. It's all pretend, smoke and mirrors. Know that Hitler, when he used to do his speeches, there was a frequency emitted, and it used to make. This is like, it's only a theory. I've got no evidence to back it up. It's just something I heard, and it was a frequency that would make the crowd uncomfortable, but they couldn't hear it, and it's getting people riled up. So while he's talking,
okay.
people are just like, no
A
one,
bit
no one can
agitated
stand
and-
still. People are agitated. The energy's up. Apparently
weird.
so, and
I can believe that.
yeah. Well, the
It
German,
makes sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
the Germans at the time had some of the best scientists in the world,
Yeah.
and Hitler was
Yeah.
working on all types of weird
Yeah.
things with scientists. So it's not beyond the realms that was a thing.
absolutely. The only thing surprising in this is they didn't have dentist drill in it. I mean, that's right up there with me.
I'm all right with
But
that.
yeah,
Surprised at you with that, all the DIY shit you do, that you don't like the sound of a drill.
I've had a lot of DIY on my teeth as well, though. So.
I'm in need of some right now. Yeah, that was good.
But
Yeah.
what do you need, Dave? A good drilling in your mouth?
And people are starting to reach out to me in my DMs,
so I see
offering me.
Double entendre day today.
Don't know what you're on about.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you guys like that too. Don't forget like and subscribe, hit the bell, and all that good stuff on all 3 channels, please.
Yeah.
Get us
And
to
we'll
100k.
yeah,
Come on.
Catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.